On the morning of September 7th, my husband was asleep. He had bartended the evening before. I put my 2 older children on the bus to school and planned to take my 2 younger daughters to the Brooklyn Aquarium. It was a gorgeous sunny day, and I wanted to get the kids out of the house so Vinny could get some rest before he worked another 24-hour shift that evening at the firehouse. Vinny woke up and surprised me, and he said he wanted to spend the day with his girls and that sleep was overrated. So we packed up the car and we made our way to the Brooklyn Aquarium. We had a great time and took lots of photos. It was a fun-filled day. As we were leaving the aquarium, the Coney Island cyclone caught Vinny's eye. Me, being the perpetual worrywart, reminded Vinny of the time and that we needed to get home for the school bus. He relented and we made our way to the Belt Parkway. As we approached the Belt Parkway, he insisted that he had to go back. He needed to ride the cyclone. He quickly made a U-turn and drove back to Coney Island. He parked along the side street next to the cyclone and said he would be back. I was pleading with him that it was closed and that we were going to be late picking the kids up from the bus, but he was determined to ride. He approached the attendant, flashed his FDNY badge, and told them, "I'm turning 40 on Tuesday. You have to let me on the cyclone." The attendant thought he was nuts, but he let him on. He was the only person on the cyclone. I stood on the sidewalk with Nikki and Danny, who were 2 and 3 years old at the time. They cheered, and as they watched their dad, yelled to them with joy and laughter, and as he waved his arms from the front of the wooden roller coaster, he was the only person on the ride. That was the epitome of my husband's personality. He enjoyed every single moment of his life and never took a single moment for granted. It is amazing that I was able to get a photo of that incredible moment with my throwaway Kodak camera. When I think how I was able to capture that moment, it gives me chills. I didn't own a digital camera or a cell phone. You have to remember, this is going back 20 years ago. We made it back in time to get our kids off the bus, and he was off to work again for another 24-hour shift at the firehouse. His shift started at 6 p.m. Friday night until 6 p.m. Saturday night, and then he went straight to his second job, bartending afterwards. Vinny had mentioned to me that Ladder 5 was going to be at the Fire Museum on Sunday, September 9th, and he wanted us to go with our daughters. After working 2 jobs all weekend, I thought he would want to stay in and sleep. But true to Vinny's style, we were up and on our way into Manhattan to the Fire Museum. We had a great time. They had all kinds of arts and crafts for the kids, and we took pictures of our girls on the fire truck. We took a family photo in front of Ladder 5's fire truck. It would be the last family photo of the 6 of us. Tuesday morning was September 11th. It was also Vinny's 40th birthday. He had worked a 24 shift the day before and was scheduled to come home at 9 a.m. after his shift ended. We spoke to him early in the morning to wish him a happy birthday before our 2 oldest daughters left for school. We talked about what he wanted to eat for dinner and what kind of birthday cake he wanted. Homemade pizza and chocolate cake. My oldest daughter had ice hockey tryouts for a Long Island all-girls team. Vinny was extremely proud of his 8-year-old daughter playing hockey. She started playing roller hockey when she was 5 with the neighborhood boys, and Vinny was pumped that he found an all-girl ice hockey team on Long Island. He had great expectations for his little hockey player and loved to brag because he was so proud. My 2 younger daughters, Nikki and Danny, were watching the Disney Channel as they ate their breakfast when I received a phone call from my good friend Maureen. She asked me where Vinny was, and I told her that he was at the firehouse and should be coming home soon. He was going for his training run in the city before he came home. She had told me that a plane hit into the World Trade Center, and I couldn't comprehend what she was telling me. I changed the channel, and I saw the billows of smoke coming from one of the towers. I still couldn't believe my eyes, and I hung up with Maureen and I called the firehouse. I was so thankful because Vinny was still at the firehouse and I was able to speak to him. I asked him if he was coming home and he said, "No, I have to go." I told him to be careful and that I loved him. He told me that he loved me too, and he would see us later. I went back to the TV and I watched as another plane came soaring through the sky right into the other tower. I couldn't understand what was happening. That was the beginning of endless days of worry and waiting. And Vinny never came home. I read somewhere, Vincent is a name that suggests give up what you want so others may have what they need. My husband, along with so many others, did just that on September 11th, assisting in one of the greatest rescue missions in history when the World Trade Center was attacked on September 11th, 2001. September 11th, 2001 was Vinny's 40th birthday. My husband was getting off duty when the planes hit. He could have come home. He chose to stay and fight to save lives. And that is his greatest and final conquest. He taught us all that love conquers all. He climbed up so thousands of others could climb down. Not only did his love for the job shine through that day, but his love for humanity did as well. I was widowed at 31. Our children were 8, 6, 3, and 2. I was only blessed being married to Vinny for 9 years. If you would have asked me that I'm going to meet the man of my dreams, have 4 beautiful children, but he's going to be taken away suddenly, would I ever change meeting him? Absolutely not. My husband was the greatest man that I've ever met, and I'm so grateful for our children, for the life that we had together, and for the memories that he gave me. God bless all our first responders. God bless our military, and God bless America.